Before I talk about Resident Evil Apocalypse, I want to address a question that I'm sure some of you have. You might be wondering why I skipped straight to the second Resident Evil movie in this feature without reviewing the original. Well, it's because I had already reviewed the original film as a part of my 10 Days of the Dead feature from Halloween of 2011. So if you want to hear my review of the first movie, go check that out. Resident Evil Apocalypse continues the plot, but in a lot of ways is a completely different type of movie. It definitely makes pains to be closer to the video game series than the first movie, introducing familiar characters such as Jill and Carlos, and the Nemesis creature. Actually, the plot seems to be loosely based off of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Alice, the protagonist from the first movie, returns, and numerous references to the first film are made, including the fact that the other survivor had been dragged off by Umbrella and mutated into the Nemesis. We also get the vague ending of the first movie explained better, as it shows how after capturing her, the Umbrella Corporation also experimented on Alice, making her stronger and faster. But for the most part, although it's chock full of references to the first movie, and does an admirable job of continuing the story, it definitely has a different feel, being more action-oriented, and feeling more like a movie based on the Resident Evil games. The first film was directed by Paul Anderson, who for the first half of the movie seemed to be remaking a rather obscure horror film called Cube, and in the second half seemed to be paying homage to the George Romero zombie movies, in particularly Day of the Dead. Apocalypse has a new director, Alexander Witt, and this is the only movie he's ever directed, it seems, though he's worked on many other movies as an assistant director. Anyway, the entire thing is way more action-based, with loads of scenes of the STARS crew and assorted tag-alongs fighting zombies, mutated creatures, and the Nemesis. Zombies have completely swarmed Raccoon City, and due to the danger of the infection caused by the T-virus spreading, the city gets quarantined, so everybody left is there to fend for themselves. As if that's not bad enough, Umbrella is going around killing people and unleashing the Nemesis, which seems to be an invulnerable killing machine. Nemesis kind of reminds me of the Predator. He attacks STARS members and zombies alike, but when one guy drops his guns, the Nemesis leaves him alone. He also keeps coming back throughout the movie, kind of like how you were stalked by him in the game. Most of the movie has the STARS members and survivors scrambling through the city looking for a safe haven and fighting off zombies, zombie dogs, lickers, and the Nemesis. It all ends when Umbrella executives show up and force Alice to fight the Nemesis, but she shows it mercy, and it in turn helps her by attacking the Umbrella people, and they all try to escape in a helicopter. But the city is hit by a nuclear blast, which causes the helicopter to crash after it gets hit by the shockwave. Alice is severely injured and taken into custody by Umbrella, and despite the news reporter character having recorded everything and exposing the truth, Umbrella manages to discredit her, and Jill and Carlos become wanted criminals. In the end, they bust Alice out of an Umbrella facility, but this seems to be part of the company's plans too, as they let Alice go, ending the movie with an enigmatic line about Program Alice. Overall, it's not nearly as ambitious as the first film, but that's part of why I liked it. The first film tried to be a lot of things, but it would have been better if it just concentrated on one. Apocalypse does the job better. It's not the smartest movie you'll see, not by a long shot, but it is at the very least very well made and highly entertaining. The one area that it's worse than the original is the acting. Although Milla Jovovich is back and she does a good job, literally every other cast member is new, and the characters aren't nearly as compelling as the ones from the first film. Most of the Resident Evil series get really bad reviews from critics, and this one's no exception. But honestly, if you take the stick out of your ass and take it for what it isn't bad. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It may seem generous, but honestly, when compared to most video game movies, this is damn ass good.